continues to advocate for the sustainable management of freshwater resources, focusing on topics relevant to clean water, sanitation and hygiene, WASH, which is in line with the targets of Sustainable Development Goal 6. The theme for World Water Day 2025 is glacier preservation, focusing on the critical role of glaciers in sustaining life and the water cycle, and also highlighting the challenges of the melting glaciers and the need for action. Earlier this month, UN member states and stakeholders from around the world gathered for the first organization session meeting ahead of the 2026 UN Water Conference scheduled to hold in the UAE. The conference is expected to reinforce global commitments to clean water and sanitation for all, fostering innovative solutions, partnerships, and investments. Well, joining us now for more on this is Dr. Ibhafidon, the founder CEO of Waterlight Save Initiative. He joins us from New York. Thank you for your time on Network Africa.
Thank you, Larry, for having me.
Well, World Water Day serves as a constant reminder of the significance of this vital resource, water. But what makes water worthy of a dedicated day? And, how can we raise awareness about its importance?
Thank you for that. The World Water Day is essential and is a day set aside for people to get to understand the importance of water globally, and it's also a day to spread the awareness of water preservations and what people should do in conflict infested areas like in Africa, pioneering initiatives that could help safeguard and protect water globally.
Now, despite being essential for human survival, it's unfortunate millions of people, particularly in Africa, the remote areas, lack access to clean water. I mean, the continent is facing significant challenges, with many lacking access to water services and sanitation. And you can also, attest to climate change exacerbating water scarcity. Now, you were at the UN organizational session meeting ahead of the water conference earlier this month. What are the initiatives and solutions that can be implemented to address this pressing issue and ensure equitable access to this fundamental human right?
Thank you for that. At the UN organizational section, we were able to come up with various initiatives that could help champion global water scarcities globally. And one of the things I mentioned was actually having a security fund for water innovation for mostly underserved communities in Africa. And also another initiative was also to hold nations accountable for water funds and security as well, because a lot of funds have gone into some countries and yet it's not used for the right purpose. So that conference actually helped align and thoroughly get people to understand and actually make people know what needs to be done in their own areas, in their communities, as a government, in your country, what you need to put in place. And some initiative also aligned there was actually the partnership, public-private partnership, whereby you get partnership is very important, because when we get to partner with each other as a nation, as an individual, as an organization, we'll get to achieve that goal which we are designed to achieve by water security. Because the anticipation for the water scarcity is that in years from now, people will be finding it difficult to get access to clean water. It's something that has been projected, just like the same way they projected the climate change. Now people are beginning to see the climate action take place, and a lot of rivers are being dried up because of climate, and a lot of things are happening globally because of climate. So some of these things we need to create awareness ahead of time, and I also mentioned the need to educate communities on the safe use of water in their various communities, so that they will understand the need for these and how they could actually have to safeguard their water. Back in the days, during the rainy season, we used to save water in an overhead tank for the rainy day during dry season when there is no rain. But all those things have gone because now we are bringing different initiatives to actually get safe drinking water. And another thing I mentioned was the solar-powered borehole system, because that actually helps in most of these unreached communities, because some communities that do not even have access to steady power supply cannot even get access to safe drinking water. So when we're using the solar-powered borehole system, that will actually help in order for them to get water at every given time without the interruption of power supplies and all of that. So various initiatives came up, and trust me, those things are even online at the United Nations website now, ahead of the 2026 conference.
All right, then. On the other hand, excessive water can be devastating, leading to flooding, hurricanes, and storms that threaten humanity. And, the UN is even highlighting the melting glaciers and is calling for their preservation. But how can we strike a balance between harnessing the benefits of water and also mitigating its destructive potential?
That is one of the reasons for this World Water Day, Lyle, because the reason for that is actually to create awareness and educate communities on how situations like this could be handled on a global scale, and also to understand the need that, okay, like getting clean water, those water you call this thing is just safeguarding your erosions and your drainage system properly. You can handle that part, but getting safe drinking water has become a major crisis globally, not only in Africa. We are only talking about Africa, but even in the United States as well, they do not have access to clean water. That is why you see a lot of people buying bottled waters, and also trying to get purified water systems in their houses, because you can't just go into every home to get water to drink. It's not as possible as it's not possible. So safe drinking water is important globally, and the United Nations have understand the fact that years from now, people will not even be having access to even the bottled water they buy, because there'll be a lot of piracy and all of that. So the need for us to get it right early now is more like a proactive measure towards getting safe drinking water across to the world globally, not only to Africa, but globally. Even in the UAE, in London, everywhere in the world, the reason why people drink bottled water, because they feel that is the safest water for them to drink. We want a situation where you can get into a home, get a cup, and go to the tap, get water and drink it, and know that you are drinking safe drinking water. In Qatar, there are purified water systems, mostly in mosques, in schools, whereby you can just take your bottle to any mosque and open their tap and drink and get water from there and drink. That is because those water has been purified. We want a situation whereby those purification systems can spread across not only in those Middle East or in these developed countries, but also in underserved communities across Africa and other Asian countries, and in the North Americas, and so forth and so on. So that is the essence for this awareness. And we're hoping that by tomorrow, more organizations, like today, we're actually having a campaign here in the US about World Water Day. And tomorrow, more organizations will be joining the campaigns as well. Right. And they'll be able to spread the news across for people to actually learn how to safeguard the water, because water is life. Indeed. And without life, there will be no world.
Exactly. Thank you so much, Dr. Ero Ibhafidon, founder CEO, Water Life Save Initiative. Thank you for speaking to us on the program.
Thank you, Larry, for having me today.
Well, let's take a break now on Network